Wheat is in so much of what we eat. Your morning toast, your favorite pasta, even the cereal you grab when you're running out the door. But have you ever thought about how it gets from the field to your plate? It's not as simple as you might think. It all starts on massive wheat farms that are more like high-tech operations than the traditional farms you might imagine. These farms use a mix of science, machines, and precise planning to grow the wheat that ends up in billions of meals around the world. Planting to harvesting to storing and shipping, every part of the process is carefully thought out. So, want to know how the wheat that fuels your meals gets to you? Stick with us, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories about the food we love. Massive wheat production begins with one essential element: land. Farmers select large, flat, and fertile areas with well-draining soil and low salinity. The climate is equally crucial. Wheat thrives in temperate zones with moderate rainfall and a cool growing season. Regions like the US Midwest, Canadian prairies, Australian outback, and parts of Russia dominate global wheat output due to their optimal conditions. Soil tests are conducted to check for nutrients and pH levels. GPS mapping helps farmers analyze land productivity. Before a single seed is sown, science ensures the field is ready to yield millions of bushels. Land isn't just chosen, it's engineered for wheat. Massive wheat farms don't plant just any wheat. They choose between dozens of specialized varieties. The two types are hard wheat, used for bread, and soft wheat, used for cakes and pastries. Within these, breeders develop varieties resistant to disease, drought, and extreme temperatures. Genetic research ensures higher yields and better protein content. The region selects wheat varieties best suited for its conditions. Some mature quickly to escape heat waves, while others are bred for cold tolerance. Seed selection is a key investment. It determines everything from harvest size to flour quality. In these mega farms, wheat begins with science, not chance. Once the land is prepped and seeds are chosen, planting begins, and scale is everything. On massive farms, planting isn't done by hand, but by air-conditioned tractors with GPS-guided seed drills. These machines plant rows with millimeter precision, ensuring even spacing and depth. In just a few days, hundreds of acres can be sown. Each tractor plants up to 60 to 100 acres a day. Farmers use real-time satellite data to monitor soil moisture and seed placement. Timing is critical. Wheat is usually planted in fall for winter wheat or spring for spring wheat. One mistake can cost millions in lost yield. Planting here is fast, vast, and ultra-precise. To grow millions of pounds of wheat, to feed the crop, fertilizers, mainly nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, are applied using aerial drones or sprayers mounted on tractors. These aren't random applications, they're data-driven. Sensors and soil maps determine exactly how much each area needs. This technique is called precision agriculture. Water, if needed, comes from center pivot irrigation systems that sweep across fields like giant metal spiders. Some farms use automated drip irrigation for water conservation. The goal is maximum growth with minimum waste. This high-tech care ensures that every seed has the best chance to become a golden stalk of wheat. Wheat is vulnerable to pests like aphids, mites, and fungal diseases like rust and blight. On massive farms, crop protection is a constant battle. Farmers use drones, satellite imaging, and field sensors to detect threats early. Pesticides and fungicides are applied selectively using GPS sprayers. Some farms use biological pest control, like releasing ladybugs or beneficial fungi. Disease-resistant wheat varieties also reduce risk. Crop rotation, alternating wheat with legumes or corn, helps break pest cycles. It's a balancing act between protecting the crop and preserving the environment. Without these efforts, entire fields could be wiped out, crippling global flour supplies. When the wheat turns golden and the moisture drops below 14%, it's time to harvest. This is where the scale becomes jaw-dropping. Gigantic combine harvesters roll across fields 24/7, cutting, threshing, and cleaning grain in one pass. Each combine can harvest up to 1,000 acres in a week. The grain is collected into hoppers and unloaded into trucks or grain trucks on the move. Timing is everything. Harvest must beat bad weather. Rain at this stage could ruin the crop. On some farms, satellite tracking coordinates fleets of machines like a ballet of steel. It's not just harvest, it's a race against nature. After harvest, the wheat isn't rushed to mills just yet. It first goes into on-site storage silos. These silos are massive. Some hold over 100,000 bushels. Before storage, the grain is cleaned, dried to reduce moisture, and treated to prevent insects. Temperature and humidity are constantly monitored. If storage conditions slip, mold or spoilage could destroy millions of dollars worth of wheat. Some farms even use aeration systems and CO2 monitoring to maintain quality. The wheat can sit for months, waiting for the best market price. Storage isn't just a pit stop, it's strategic, protecting both the crop and profits. Before wheat leaves the farm, it's tested for moisture, protein content, and contamination. Labs use infrared machines and grain analyzers for rapid testing. High-protein wheat commands a premium, especially from flour mills that make bread. Grain with low test weight or signs of fungus is downgraded. Only the best wheat moves to the next stage. Some farms even segregate wheat varieties in separate silos for specific customers. This step ensures the flour mills get exactly what they need, nothing more, nothing less. At this level, quality isn't assumed. It's measured in every truckload. Massive wheat farms aren't always near flour mills. Sometimes they're thousands of miles apart. So, how does wheat travel? By trucks, trains, barges, and even ships. In North America, freight trains haul grain in long lines of hopper cars. In Europe and Asia, canals and barges are used. From Australian farms, wheat is loaded onto cargo ships bound for Asia. At every point, logistics teams coordinate timing, storage, and routes. Some countries import over 90% of their wheat. These supply chains are the arteries of the global food system. If they stop, bread prices soar. This is wheat's silent global journey. Finally, the wheat reaches the flour mill, where the real transformation begins. It's tested again for quality, then cleaned to remove dust, stones, and any remaining chaff. Inside giant steel rollers, the grain is crushed, sifted, and ground in stages. The endosperm becomes white flour, and the bran and germ are separated or reblended. Modern mills operate non-stop, turning hundreds of tons of wheat into flour daily. Computer systems control everything, from grinding pressure to flour fineness. The flour is then bagged for bakeries, packaged for retail, or shipped in bulk to food manufacturers. It's the final step in a global supply chain. Why do we need such massive wheat farms? Because global demand is staggering. The world consumes over 750 million metric tons of wheat annually. It's a staple in more than 100 countries. In Egypt, it's flatbread. In Italy, pasta. In India, chapati. Without large-scale farms, we simply couldn't meet this demand. These mega operations produce wheat efficiently, keeping prices stable and shelves stocked. And as populations grow, the pressure increases. Large farms also invest more in research, sustainability, and innovation, benefiting the entire industry. Scale isn't just about size, it's about feeding the world, one field at a time. From vast fields to your kitchen, wheat's journey is powered by innovation, precision, and global teamwork. Massive farms grow, harvest, and ship millions of tons to feed the world. One slice of bread, one bowl of pasta at a time. Behind every bite is a story of machines, farmers, and science working in sync. Impressed by the scale behind a simple bag of flour? Don't keep it to yourself. Share this with someone who loves food. Want to know how other everyday staples are made? Subscribe, stay curious, and keep exploring the hidden stories behind what's on your plate.